Good morning, friends. Happy Tuesday, June 9th. Oh man, June 9th. Can you believe it? All right. Well, it's a Tuesday. And as I've told you before, in school, I always hated Tuesdays. And for some weird reason, Tuesdays always lead to crazy behavior. And I don't know why, but it does. And because it's a Tuesday and I was thinking about crazy behavior, I was thinking about like just kids being kids. I got thinking about how I wonder what Tuesdays are like in middle school. Like, are they worse? Like, I wonder. I'm just curious because middle school can be, difficult, little tough. So anyway, but that got me thinking about myself like in middle school, and I thought it would be kind of a fun day to tell you a little bit about me in middle school. So when I was in middle school, my hair had finally kind of grown out from the chop phase, where I chopped it off into like a mohawk. It had finally like kind of calmed down and grown out. But what happened to me in middle school were a couple of things. One, I was not picked for cheerleading. Sorry, I had to sit on something. And I shouldn't have been picked. I was terrible. I could do like really cool back walkovers and stuff like that and front flips, which I taught myself in the field behind my house. So stupid. I could have been paralyzed. God, but anyway. But the reason I wasn't picked is because I couldn't really remember routines. I'm terrible at remembering routines. So I should have been picked. But I sort of decided right around that time that I would probably never fit in. I did beg my grandmother to buy me Jordache jeans. Do you remember Jordache jeans? They didn't have a hem. And I remember my grandma saying, I can't believe you want me to pay this much money for a pair of jeans that are not finished. And I was like, but they're Jordache jeans. Like, they're cool. Everybody has them. And by some miracle, my grandmother bought me those jeans and I literally wore them until the butt wore out. I'm like, literally the butt part like wore away. And that was probably my last attempt at really wanting and trying to be like everyone else. And it did not work. Kids can just tell when you're different. And if you don't have a tribe to like hold you up, you tend to just sort of have to survive on your own. And I did have a couple of really close friends who cared about me at that time. Most of them were guys. I loved my guy friends back then. Thank God for them. I had a couple of girlfriends who were really sweet and tried to like me through all my weirdness. But anyway, here's the thing. I sort of just got sick of trying. Like, first of all, I did not like the permed hair with the big bangs. I just thought it looked so weird and I just did not want it. And because I didn't want it, I didn't get it. Because I didn't get it, I just did not fit in. So that was one thing. Sorry. That was one thing that happened, is like I sort of became accidentally like not one of everybody else, accidentally on purpose. But the other thing that happened was I discovered Vogue magazine. Now that sounds really weird, but like it changed my life because up until then I lived in a small town with one stoplight. I believe we had two Black families and they were the nicest kids ever, but just two. Like there was just no multiculturalism, and I just didn't even know that was out there in the world. I guess I knew, but like it was a super white town and super reserved, and like I just holy cow, Vogue magazine was showing me that there were people with all different colored skin and all different colored hair, and they all were beautiful, and it just taught me so many things. And it's interesting the time we're living in right now, because it would have been very easy to grow up different than I grew up, where instead I grew up thinking that all kinds of people were beautiful and special, and I'm really grateful for that. But the other thing that happened with Vogue magazine was it just really challenged everybody's ideas of norms, if you were living in a small town. So there was this ad that I was in love with, and it had this girl who had super long hair, really long hair, and she was leaning over a dresser into a mirror. I think she was putting on lipstick. Who cares? Doesn't matter. That's not what drew me. What drew me was she had super long hair, but only on one side. So on one side of her head, because the shot was taken from the back, she had really short bobbed hair, and just to the middle of her head, and then the other side of her hair was like long hair. So immediately I decided that yes, this was a phenomenal idea and I was going to do it. So my poor parents. So I like parted my hair right down the middle, pulled this side over, balanced out those scissors, and cut a bob, but just on the one side, not on the other side. So I had bobbed hair on the side, long hair on the other side. So I think that when you're in middle school, if you don't fit in, there's a very good tendency that you're going to kind of just go completely anti-establishment. And had there been like emo kids and like goth kids back then, I probably would have very much gravitated to them because at least I would have had like a tribe of my own people. But I didn't. I didn't have people that were really like me at all. It was very much you had to fit in or you just were nobody. And I just kind of refused. I just kind of got like really over that. I just got sick of it. So I decided that instead of trying to fit in, I would just kind of march to my own drum. So it started with chopping my hair half off, and then I don't know where I got this idea. I genuinely hope it was my own idea, but I highly doubt it because I can't believe I would have come up with something like this. But I'm going to show you what I did with my makeup every day for a very long time before I would go to school. So what I would do was, this is my own idea, I'm pretty sure. And I did this in the summertime too, which is kind of amazing if it like stuck. But so every day before school, I would do my makeup. Now it was the 80s, so I'm sure there was blue mascara somewhere in here, but this was always a part of my getting ready routine. Oh yes. Now friends, we're not talking October. We're talking like February. We're talking March, April, May, June. We're talking like regular months, okay? This was what I would do before I went to school every day. Oh yes, I would draw on the spider web. Just on one side, not two. I thought it was really cool if it was unbalanced, but I'm pretty sure I had the soul of an artist even back then. And I am an artist, so maybe this is where it all began, drawing on my face. But yes, so this was probably partly why I didn't have a lot of people approach me and want to be my friend. I just didn't fit. And because I didn't fit, I decided to just stop trying to fit. And I'm super proud of that little girl now. Like, I'm super proud of her for reaching out to the other kids who didn't fit. I tried to be friends with everyone, especially the kids that I didn't think had a lot of friends or that weren't, having an okay time in school. I tried real hard to like reach out to those kids. I'm still that way. Now, if I was feeling really jaunty, I would even add like a spider. It depended on the day. I personally like it better without the spider, but there were times, maybe that was like a symbol of like, you better watch out today. So point of this is to be that person, be your own person, hold on to your own ideals, love everyone, look for people who have fallen down and need help getting up, look for people you can stick up for and do it because it's what's right. And even as a kid, I knew that was what was the most important thing. So let your freak flag fly. Be awesome and hold everybody else up. Okay, have a great Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you back here tomorrow.